The smallest and most iconic all-electric vehicle Renault has ever launched is the R5. And it doesn't only come with a good story. You get on it the same brake-by-wire technology every BMW on sale today comes with. I am excited about this car. You just need to take one look at it and understand there are not many others like it. But does it just come dressed for a party, or can it throw a party? Showing up with those good looks and no substance behind it would be kind of cheating, wouldn't it? So let's find out today what this car is all about. On paper, it looks to be a practical 5-door hatch which loves the city and the suburbs, but at the same time, it's not afraid to go on the highways and the longer journeys if you ask it. Unlike its main competitors, and here I'm talking about the Mini and the Fiat 500, it's also built on a dedicated EV platform called Ampere, which in theory should give it the edge when it comes to offering the best interior space for the size. I mean, it helps push the wheels on the far sides, get rid of the central tunnel, and a whole bunch of other useless stuff, which is usually there just to make a combustion engine work efficient. That sounds great, but I just don't see it when I look at the rear bench. To be honest with you, rear space is the weakest point of this car. I'm 175 cm tall. This chair is in my driving position, and as you can already tell, knee space and foot space is at a premium. By the way, I wear size 42 shoes, and I just find enough space to place my feet. So depending on the person sitting behind you, if you find yourself in the driver's seat, you might need to sacrifice your comfort, just to make a bit of room for them. It seems like Renault hasn't given it the highest priority. You get no door pockets, no armrest, nor connectivity of any kind. On the bright side, you still get front seat pockets, and most importantly, 3 full side seats. But this is where you need to think about it. What is it that you're going to do with this car? Are you going to take regular people in the back? Are they children? If yes, space could be just enough until they grow up. If not, well, you still get those 5 doors and 3 back seats, just for those special and rare occasions when you need to make sure all of your friends make it to the party. I cannot complain, however, when it comes to the front space. It's not only comfortable and roomy, it's simply pleasant and warm, pleasing to the eyes compared to those generic black plastic interiors we used to get at this price level. In the driver's seat, you not only get good support for both the right and left elbow, you get plenty of adjustments, both in the steering wheel and the driver's seat. Oh, the other thing you don't get is electrical adjustments in the driver's seat. This is just for the lumbar support, and the inconvenience is when you share this car with somebody else, such as your wife. Every time you change over, you might need to do some manual adjustments. Apart from that, I'm actually surprised how comfortable the seats are. The fabric is nice to touch and breathable. I'm really impressed. The trunk is how you expect it to be on a car of this size, 326 liters to be more exact, and just enough for everyday shopping and different kind of small stuff. The loading lip is high, and there's not much when it comes to features, except for the foldable split backrest, useful in case you want to carry larger items. The car I'm reviewing here is the top-range iconic version, but this is not how the base version looks. It comes in green if you want to get it the cheapest, and gets less of everything. And here I talk about range on a single charge, power, interior refinement, and so on. I will not go through the entire list, but you will also not be getting things such as reverse camera, nor start-stop traffic driving mode if that's what you like to get for the city. As for the fact that you don't get the native Google Power system, I don't think that's such an issue. Phone mirroring with Apple CarPlay and Android Auto is standard, which comes with the same responsive screen, by the way. But does it mean you should avoid it?
Well, you still get the same car, which does everything you care about when it comes to safety. Automatic emergency braking with intersection function is standard.
Hold on, let me correct myself on that one. Intersection function could have been standard also on the base version, if only Renault would have fitted with front parking sensors. Apart from that, you also get traffic sign recognition, lane keep assist, and my favorite, the button, which helps deactivate, well, not all of it, but the annoying part of shouting and beeping and the aggressive intervention of the system over the steering wheel when you least expect it. And not only that, despite its smaller battery, it still goes everywhere as long as you charge it.
You see, its strongest point is not in the power or range. Its strongest point is handling and driving experience.
And you get plenty of that on the entry version as well. But before we go to how it drives, there's one thing I want to touch. And that's the steering wheel. It's simply too cluttered with all these stalks around it. It will take some time for you to get used to all of them, but the thing that intrigues me the most is the park brake integration.
It's not the same as they do it on the Megane, where it's placed right here at the end of the drive mode selector. Here it's at a different location. But what's the problem? You'll get used to it. Well, I would have loved to have it at the end of the stick. It's much more convenient. Plus, Renault could have been consistent to what they do.
That's just another example of how cost is driving decision these days. Despite this inconvenience, the electric park brake is very well integrated to keep you safe in different sorts of scenarios. It self-engages when, for example, the car is in drive and you remove the seatbelt, or power off the motor, or open the door, in which case it also selects neutral for you. That's very good, but I still see some unnecessary degrees of freedom left open by Renault.
One such example is when you're in drive and engage a handbrake by yourself. You end up in a situation where there's a bit of a contradiction between the motor which wants to pull you forward and the handbrake which wants to hold you still. Same thing applies for when you're in drive and remove the seatbelt. It pulls the handbrake but doesn't switch to neutral. I don't get it. What's the purpose of that? Do you?
Look, maybe it's just me, but the reason I'm upset is because they've done the same thing on the Dacia Spring. And that's part of the reason one day I crashed from bumper. Mind you, that car, the first generation Dacia Spring, has a manual power brake and it's not intelligent nor capable to switch to neutral when you're about to make a mistake like that. So for that reason, this Renault is much more safe. Now let's go back to what I consider to be the strongest point of this car, and something that makes it stand out from the rest, besides its good looks: the driving experience. To me, it looks like Renault has carefully calibrated how this car drives, making all the controls neither too light and spoiling the fun of driving, nor too heavy to the point where it would be too hard to live with on a daily basis. The brake pedal is on the hard side, but still feels natural despite being by wire. And in case you're wondering what by wire means, let me briefly explain it to you. To be short, instead of braking the car yourself, you are not just sending a brake request to a computer, which is free to choose between the electric motor and the friction brake to slow you down, so you don't waste all that brake energy. Not only that, it does it without you even noticing, which for the most part is true, except on this car, just before slowing down completely, you still can feel the friction brakes grabbing the wheels. It's not a big deal, I just wanted to mention it. If there is something which could spoil the driving experience at higher speeds, that would be the cabin noise. When doing 90 kph, I could hear some wind noise around the door frame. But this is where you could turn on the music and enjoy the Harman Kardon sound system in case that's what you opted for. It's good, but I also have heard better. If not, you may try having a conversation with Renault, the AI-powered avatar. All Renault 5s get it except the entry version. Just say "Hey Renault" and it will show up to service. It will also be available as a mobile app, and it's supposed to help you personalize the vehicle and answer any question no matter the topic. Sounds fantastic. Imagine having a companion to have a conversation with every time you're stuck in traffic. This being a test car, it constantly kept asking me for a subscription. But I still could ask it stupid questions just to kill time behind the wheel.
Hey Renault. My wife likes you. Are you gonna make me jealous?
Sorry, can you repeat that?
My wife likes you.
Unfortunately, I can't help you with that.
Oh, I think he's already hiding something.
But is it something worth paying for? Well, it depends on how fond you are of this technology. But if it's going to work the way I'm expecting it to, I would have it.
Hey, let me introduce myself a bit.
I could ask it everything from driving indications to setting up reminders at certain places and even cooking advices to impress my wife and kids. And if you wonder about efficiency, this is where you will also not be disappointed. Considering the kind of driving this car has seen for the past 1,000 kilometers, it still shows an average consumption between 14 to 15 kilowatts to the 100. Look, I don't need to tell you, no car is perfect. Some are better one thing over the other, and I'm sure you can find a more practical car in the second row than Renault 5. But very few will score this high when it comes to how it looks, both inside and out, how it drives, and the technology it comes with, especially when talking about AI. And there's another area where it will score higher: depreciation. I know electric cars depreciate faster than others, and some depreciate faster than you can drive them. But when it comes to Renault 5, I would not worry too much about it. And a message from my side to you: these videos I'm making, I know they're not perfect. I could try to make them better, but unless you push that like button, I have to stop doing them. It's simply too much effort and no incentive for me to continue. It's just that simple.